Afternoon. How's everyone doing?
Good, sir.
All right. Enjoying your Friday yet?
I am now. I was.
So today, I'm going to do my informative speech for Lesson 5 of our speech class on nanotechnology. Real interesting topic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone know anything about nanotechnology? Anyone think that you deal with it at all in everyday life?
Nope.
No? No? Okay. Are you wearing makeup? Or are you?
No.
No?
I am.
Well, then nanotechnology is playing a part in your makeup wearing.
There you go, Steve.
If you drove a car to work today, nanotechnology is used in some components of the vehicle. Nanotechnology is everywhere, and no one even realizes it. Not just because it's so small, but because no one really knows a whole lot about nanotechnology yet. So, imagine for a minute that you've got a marble in your hand. Imagine that that marble is 1 nanometer diameter. To make 1 meter would be the size of the Earth. That's how small a nanometer is. For such a small size, nanotechnology plays a huge part of our everyday lives. And without it, we wouldn't have some of the technologies we have today. According to 7 Amazing Ways Nanotechnology is Changing the World, written by Rebecca Boyle on November 14th of 2012, nanoscale materials are used in almost everything from everyday life to life-saving medical technology. So first today, I will discuss what nanotechnology is. Then I will give examples of how it is already changing the world. And last, I will talk about the possible future of nanotechnologies and what they are currently working on for a hopeful solution to many medical problems. First, nanotechnology is the study of matter and materials less than 100 nanometers across. That is smaller than the naked eye can see. And it's almost smaller than any high school microscope. The idea of nanotechnology was started by physicist Richard Feynman when he gave his speech, "There's Plenty of Room at the Bottom," in 1959. When he gave his speech, nanotechnology wasn't even a term, and it was just a theory. No one had any microscopes that could even see that small yet. It took another 20 years before they invented microscopes that could see in the nano area to even find out that there was particles there that they could move and manipulate in the ways they wanted. In his speech, he reinforces his point that it's a theory by saying, "I am telling you what could be done if the laws are what we think they are." And the laws he's talking about are the laws of physics. And because they couldn't see things that small, it was just a theory. The microscopes needed that were invented 20 years after that are the scanning tunneling microscope and the atomic force microscopes. And even then, they were only able to see a blurry picture at best. Some of the common materials used in nanotechnology are carbon, gold, and silver. Those are really the most common ones. Carbon's the most common because of its properties that allow it to be manipulated so easily at that scale. So now I'll move on to examples of how it's already changing the world, since I already told you how it affected you and you didn't even know it. According to Global Information Inc., the global market for nanotechnology-based products is projected to reach $3.3 trillion by the year 2018. One of the materials made by nanotechnology with great implications are carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotubes are a super strong material used in making really thin line that is super strong. And they do this by plating it onto a sheet of aluminum and then gently twisting the material off of the plate of aluminum as they go. Another material that has recently been discovered in the United Kingdom is Vanta Black. Vanta Black is considered the blackest material known to man. It absorbs 99.96% of light. That means it reflects almost nothing. One of the uses for Vanta Black is possibly in telescopes such as the Hubble telescope, or in even general everyday telescopes if they get to that point. The reason for that is because it won't reflect the light and have distortions in the pictures like the current colors do. So they'll have a lot clearer pictures as they go and look further into space. The possible future uses of nanotechnology include just about everything. The medical industry especially is looking for it to cure a lot of common diseases and colds, viruses, and cancers, and just about anything you can think of. One of the things they're researching now is implanting small micro robots into the eye, which are controlled from outside the eye by magnetic forces, and should someday, they hope, be able to use them to correct cataracts and many other degenerative diseases. So in conclusion, I discussed what nanotechnology is. I gave examples of how it's already changing the world, and many examples of how it has changed the world that you don't even know. And I also discussed how they hope to use it in the future. Anyone have any questions?
Do you know how soon we might see nanotechnology in the future?
Oh, we've already
Further
got
advances?
nanotechnology.
Like further advances?
Every day. It's increasing exponentially every year. It gains more and more research, and because of that, they get more and more funding. So it could be tomorrow they could announce a new technology to use. Some of the current researches for the medical field are being used right now. So it could be just about any day, and obviously in the future it's going to be even more useful. Any other questions?